Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. I'm sorry. This show was supposed to have been up to you guys last week, but hey, man, things happen. But like I said, better late than never. Never. Facts. Anyway, this is Broadbandbullies. Park myself in the back.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit myself in the background. But anyway, like I said, thank you guys again for rocking out with us, supporting us on the Patreon, and helping us to build and grow this platform. I got some new members with me today. A new member, I'm sorry. My man, shout yourself out, brother. Let me know what you do on your channel, what you're trying to do on your channel, brother.
Yo, this is your boy MM2K. I'm proud to be part of the family now, man. I'm humbled, man. Yeah, you got the best of the best here, and
yes,
I'm just a lowly content provider doing something on my channel. It's Mighty Moss 2K.
Mighty Moss. Now on your channel, you was tasting them Pale Bob pies and shit, right? What you doing on your channel? What you got going on your channel? Listen,
doing Twinkie challenges.
And listen, this is the first time I talked to you a little behind the scenes. I don't even know if you're a Nintendo guy, PC guy, Xbox guy. Like, what is your platform of choice? Or you play on everything? Like, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm an Xbox dude.
Oh man, another box. Okay.
Yeah, I'm an Xbot. However, I play on all consoles and PC. Mainly it's Xbox, a little bit of sprinkle with a little bit of PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? But even though I'll play on multiple platforms, my thing is, man, the Xbox is getting hammered unfairly. So I'm just trying to fight the good fight like everybody else,
My man, that's spoken like the true.
Talk about
it's a true Xbox, my man. So
he in his war, and a young John Connor has emerged.
We got the Xbox, aka John Constantine, in this piece. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He might get juice and run for his money here. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, there are several topics that have came out. Several topics that came out since the last time we did the show. So what we got first? Now, Post, you was telling me something about South Park. I've never watched it. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I know what it's about, but I've never played the game. A lot of people love it. I know D was pissed off last year. One of them got pushed back. Like, you know what I mean? That was one of his most anticipated games. I never, you know what I mean? I don't know what's the art style, but I hear, it's a fun game. When I look at those South Park games, I look at it like those Telltale games. I don't know. Maybe it's just not my thing, but yeah, I may get this one because what you told me was kind of funny. But talk to me, what's going on with the South Park game?
Well, I used to play a South Park game on the 360. It was like a snowball fighting game, and it was really
fight game.
Yeah, it was a snowball. Like you had these little snow machines, and you got these people coming at you. And you're able to set up these little machines that shoot out snowballs and shit. It was crazy, man. But it was super, super, super fun. But what's going on is that in this game, this particular new game that's coming out, they have a racial slider in the game. So when you're creating your character and you're choosing your difficulty level, based on what difficulty level you choose, the color of the character changes. So if you're going for a very easy difficulty setting level, the lighter the character. If you're going for a very difficult setting, very hard, the darker the character. The developers say it has no effect on the gameplay.
Wait.
That's wild as hell.
Now, what happened? Listen. Hey, I'm sorry. Now, listen. Now, I'm on that thing that Jesus was sitting back right now, right? So I'm a little under the weather. Talk to me. What's going on when you make the game difficult? The man turns black. What happened?
Facts. So if you want to play the game on a more difficult level, like very hard, you have to play with a colored character.
Oh, that's great.
That's the crazy part, though. That's the crazy part. The devs said, or not the devs, the creators of South Park, Matt and Trey, I think their name are. They said it has nothing to do with the actual combat of the game. We just wanted to make sure you knew that it was harder. That's literally, they said it has nothing to do with the actual difficulty of the game.
And
We just wanted to make sure you knew.
Eurogamer wrote an article about it, so it's on Eurogamer, and they actually got a video that you can go see what that's.
Listen, how much you want to bet? By 95% of Trump's fan base will play that game with easy. Shout my brother Jesse P. He's a Trump supporter.
That privilege that kind of get looked over or claimed to be thing that doesn't exist. They're pointing out that it do exist.
I thought it was hilarious. I don't even mess with South Park like that, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, South Park games are fun, bro.
How much do they cost?
I don't know how much this.
I think it's full retail.
Yeah, I think it's a prequel.
It was like $7 at one point in time. Like
the name of this one is South Park: The Fractured
Butthole. $65.
Yeah, that much will be full retail.
Yeah, full price.
The South Park game I played on the 360 was really addictive. I did not know, even though I was smacking motherfuckers with snowballs, it was difficult, but it was fun.
I own it, and I don't think I've ever played it.
Man, I promise you, play it. I thought
it was on sale.
Is it on backwards compat?
Yeah, it's back compat.
What's
I bought it. It was like $7 as soon as it went back compat.
I forgot the name of it, but once you play it, you're gonna like it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, Garrett, you there, brother?
What's going on, good brother?
Listen, I'm trying to keep you awake, man. You on that Smokey Robinson tip right now. Does this game keep your interest?
Man, listen, bro. I never been in the South Park. You know what I'm saying?
My girl.
It's just not for me.
You killed Kenny, you bastard.
Like a lot of people. Like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't appeal to me. You know what I mean? Like, not to mention that whole slider shit. I ain't into that shit. I don't know, man. It's not my thing.
It's controversial.
Hey, yo, Garrett talking extra tough right now.
I'm keeping it all the way trail with you. I just don't I don't joke about shit like, you know what I mean, that real life shit. It's a lot going on in real life, and so but of course it would be South Park to try to crack jokes about this shit.
Yeah, I could understand because South Park is kind of that show that pushes the edge a little bit when it comes to like politics.
Everything politics,
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So they bring awareness. My wife was talking to me. They bring awareness. She's into those type of
and in a way by doing that, kind of like bringing awareness to the whole. I mean, because think about it.
Okay.
Shit, being black is kind of harder in life. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
You know what, Joe? Listen, I'm gonna say one thing right here, and not to get too serious, but we have a good time tonight. And I said this several times in other videos or whatever the case. Me, you guys who don't know me, from Newark, New Jersey, Surfboarding Projects of Ray. If you know anything about Newark is, not all of Newark, but you know what I mean? Newark is a rough city in New Jersey. I mean, there's a ghetto area. I'm not saying that my ghetto is worse than anybody else's ghetto, but I come from a very, very shitty part of Newark, you know what I mean? Surfboarding Project. Now, with that being said, though, growing up, and this is true, growing up, all I seen around me were black people. I don't have any white friends. We had one white family in the projects, but they were just as black as us, more or less. I think it was Irish Tommy and white boy Tommy. Tommy doing life right now too. But anyway, it wasn't because I used to box, so I started to travel and go to state to state, and I stepped outside of my scope, you know what I mean? And then I realized then, you know what I mean? There's one thing I was blessed with. I will say this here, you know what I mean? I said my ass may be dumb, but ain't no dumbass. I realized even at an early age, because when you box, you have the regionals. That's in this. That's like you say, New York, Jersey, Philly, Connecticut, the regionals. Then you have the nationals for all of America. So you would see the same people from state to state in different tournaments. Cool. But I learned at an early age because I was in Mississippi, then I was in Louisiana, and parts of Alabama, and I seen white people, blonde hair, blue eyes that were living off the land. I mean, I'm from the projects. You know what I mean? They didn't have running water in their house. They were pissing and shit outside, and that blew my mind. They was out there hunting squirrels and raccoons. From the hood, you see a raccoon, that got rabies. You like to eat that? I walk to my man. I was trying to my man Rob. Go into his house, and in the kitchen, I sit down. Grandmother offered me something to drink with some lemonade. Them jokers had about 2 possums in the sink, turned up with a raccoon. Yo, bruh.
2 possums and a raccoon.
And a raccoon.
I'm bullshit you not. And they had 2 squirrels in a squirrel trap on the floor. Now I say that to say this, right?
Wow.
And again, and it was crazy. I said it to say this, right? Because again, you know, all I see around me was poor black people, and I realized it's not really a race thing. You know, it's not really a white or black thing. They just trick us with that on the surface. It's really a rich and a poor thing. You know what I mean? It's really the 1%, and not to get all, you know, get my Elijah Muhammad on, but it's the 1%. I mean, the 99% gets the 1%. That's what it is at the end of the day, because it's not really about a white and black. It's about a rich or poor. Now, but again, with this game, I think I might even. I've never ever, like I said, really watched the show, or even played any of the game. I think it's dope though that that maybe they even trying to bring a little awareness to it.
Yeah, and by using that platform too.
Yeah. That's why I might go out, you know what I mean, and support it. Like I said, I never played any of the games. I see people, my friends, they go crazy about them. Brian, now listen, I know I'm gonna shout out again to my man Brian, VIP Patreon supporter. Is this something that interests you, or you're not really too big for it?
Nah, not in the South Park, man. Everybody thinks it's funny, but me is stupid.
What about the message in itself that they're trying to deliver?
You know why? I'm sorry.
This is alright, but I mean, it's still not my thing. I just can't stand. I can't stand South Park.
Okay. Okay, this is cool. Hey, Juice.
You know why the message don't mean that much to me also, because I've seen people of all color struggle the way I had to struggle. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Even though majority is different, but I've seen people I've been at the bottom with all races, so it doesn't really it's nothing me. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's like, oh come on, man. It's what certain people perceive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right about that.
I was a white dude at a predominantly black school, so that's what I was raised in. I don't give a shit about color.
Right.
I mean, your girl was black, right?
Yeah, my wife is black, man.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, man, it is what it is. People's people, man. At the end of the day, but anyway, like I said, to bring it back on a lighter note, lighter tone, I may get the game, but I am a man of very little means, so it depends on what's out at the time and how much money did I have at the time. That I may get this game. We shall see. Moving right along, we had the developer from Assassin's Creed. I believe the lead developer name was Isman, or anyway, the Egyptian brother or the Middle Eastern brother, went on to record and said here that Assassin's Creed Origins Direct calls the Xbox One X version the most beautiful version. And you had PC guys and PS4 guys are losing their minds. And my question is to you. I don't understand it, but why, or why is it a problem? Like, listen, now he didn't say anything about the PC, but he didn't exclude the PC. He said this is the best looking version, period. Now I did a video on this about a month and a half ago, and I hate to be the Xbox to say I told you so, but so I digress. But what do you guys think about this?
What I think is, the PlayStation guys have no right to be angry. They always knew the X was going to be, the better performing console with the better port. But
I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew.
Maybe they were in denial, but they should have known. But the PC guys are probably upset, saying like, "Look, I'm spending twice the amount of this X, and I might have the inferior version." So I understand they're butthurt about this.
Well, listen,
they're spending way more and maybe getting a little bit less.
I'm gonna say this right, and I want the whole panel to hop on this, right? At the end of the day, right? When I say that most PS4 games, even go in Bang Bang, you had guys like Eric Pruitt say, as far as parity, being that Sony is the lead platform, right? And just that, they got developers are not going to go out of their way to put in the extra bells and whistles. And then when you had to come out to say that, Microsoft said that it'll be up to the developer. The console can do 4K 60, but it's up to developers and how they spend the assets, right? And they said, with checkerboard rendering will be a method that some games may use, or whatever the case may be. Then you had YouTubers, I'm not going to say any names, but they're pretty known in the community, was saying, well, there's no need to get an X because you're going to checkerboard just like the Pro. And something that I've been saying since the turns of time, that, resolution doesn't give you better graphic. It's the textures and the shaders and all the assets, you know what I mean? And I think I'm not talking about the small games. We just had one game we're going to talk about in a minute. I'm talking about like as far as the big budget games, like the AAA joints with a budget, that we're going to see a clear advantage. And again, just looking at, it's bigger than just the 6 teraflops compared to the 4.2. It's the RAM, and this is something that I've been talking about since last year. You know what I mean? And it's at a much higher memory bandwidth because with the Pro, I have one. You can either get a higher resolution or you can get better textures, and they can't do both because it doesn't have a high enough memory bandwidth. And Sony kind of boxed itself in the corner with resolution. But what I find, no, I said odd or whatever the case that he's been so direct with his message, because this far this generation we've been accustomed to hearing that the PS4 version was the definitive version, and even when Microsoft had to deal with The Witcher 3, and they had the marketing rights. The dev said that he would rather play the PS4 version. You know what I mean? But again, like, what do you guys think about that? Miles, I'm talking to you, new guy. 2K, what are your thoughts about this?
Here's the thing, man. Just to piggyback off of what you said, one thing we got to remember when these parody videos and stuff come out, that Sony guys are so emotionally attached to the PlayStation, it's unbelievable. You probably had 10% that slit their wrist after they hearing this stuff, man. It's crazy. And what we got to remember too is that Sony themselves know that there's no parity, that the Xbox One X is way more powerful. What is it, 40% more powerful? But the Sony dudes are not trying to absorb that. So whenever somebody comes out, even the developer says it themselves, they're not trying to live with that. So they're going to go in the weeds, try to come up with something else. Well, this, it ain't that. Y'all ain't got the games, all that other noise. But the fact of the matter is that they're going to keep trying to fight this fight against reality, because I mean, these are the same people 2013, they was raising championship belts and crying in the crowd because Sony had a better presentation. These you talking about weirdos, man. Those is weirdos. So it is what it is. You know,
you gonna be out here, bro. You know what's crazy? Hold on, sidebar. Most people, not just most people, a lot of people come on, they be shy, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? But bro, you gonna be all right.
You're gonna survive, right?
Hey, man, China, what do you think about this, though?
Yeah, you know what I mean? This the problem, right? Like, I remember back in 2013, just like you said, them dudes was yelling and cheering. I remember when they announced Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, and they stood up like it was the best thing ever. Nigga, what?
People ask me about Shenmue 3.
What? No,
it's still not
absolutely not. Jumping up and down, right? And it's not coming out for at least another 2 years.
And that's for a reason, man.
And it looked like they're to Sony, regardless of whatever Sony does, is ridiculous. Like, the Xbox is going to be better. Period. Right now, they want to come out and be like, they ain't got the games. They ain't got the games. Okay, so when the games start coming, Sony will still be behind in power, unless you cool with them releasing a PS5 when they did nothing to help the PS4 Pro. So I just like next gen, I got one sitting right here. It is dusty as hell. Like, I bought Lost Legacy. I beat that in about 6 hours. Ain't gonna touch my PlayStation 4 probably till next year. Yeah, this is what it is. Yep. The Xbox One X come out, I'm be all over that, like a fat kid at a buffet, like Z at a buffet. That's what I'm like Z at a buffet. I'm be right up, pull up my chair and everything. Because every game that's coming out, not just the ones from Xbox, but every single game that's coming out is gonna be the best that it can be on the console space. Period. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts. Even when they do things like force parity, even if they force parity, the Xbox One X is stronger, and it's built in a way where it automatically brings everything up to a certain level.
Can I add one more thing to that too? Just to cement the fact that these dudes are so emotionally attached to Sony and their success. When you got to understand, this is new territory for them. They're used to no matter what Microsoft do, it gets dogged. And for it now to be the other way, you know, where the developers now are praising Microsoft, they don't know how to handle it. And this goes further back than this gen. I remember last gen when Ryan Giggs, when he was part of IGN, this dude put out an article that he can't play Final Fantasy on the Xbox because the Sony just represents something cooler to him. And he's not the only one that thinks that way. So now that we getting all this positive press, we as the Xbox fans, we're loving this shit. But them, they on all types of antidepressants. They can't handle it. So all they know how to do is just fight the narrative, and they're gonna keep doing that. But we got to understand, this is embedded in their mind, body, and spirit, and they're not gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Embedded
You know, this is
into the DNA.
exactly what Phil said. You know, he was gonna let the games do the talking. Once people start seeing these games and developers start coming out talking about the games, it's gonna be no question as to what's gonna be the best. They saying it's even better than the PC version. I mean, it looks better than the PC version, so it's automatically gonna make these PC dudes say like, "What?"
Yep.
Well, here's the thing, right?
I gotta check that out. You know,
here's the thing though. Even with that, like, people, I don't know. It seems like they have amnesia. This will be the first time a game has come out on a console that outperformed the PC version.
Yeah, that is different. That is different. Yeah.
You know,
Well, let me put some out there right quick for y'all go into all that outperform the PC version. Let me tell you something. PC guys don't care about what the game looks like. All they got, they care about getting them 60 frames. If you ain't got 60 or more frames, PC guys don't care.
Yeah.
They care about that
being
power.
honest.
Don't forget that shit.
They love their power, but honestly, you're gonna have people that can do this same game at 60 frames per second, ultra settings and shit.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. You gotta sidestep PC and keep focused on what we need to be focusing on, which is the PS4. Because the PS4 Pro, I'm sorry, the PS4 Pro. I'm sorry, but they getting a little buddied, and that means that you getting put underneath the wing. How that deodorant taste, boy?
You know, PlayStation fans trying to make you think like the difference between the X and the Pro is like the difference between the original PS4 and the original Xbox One. It's way bigger than that.
Exactly.
Well, they acted like that original difference was like the X and the Pro.
Exactly.
Remember how they was back in the day? It's 50% more powerful.
Over 180p. You have over a difference of 180p. It was so much better.
And you know what was crazy about those games? A lot of those games was 1080p on the PS4, 900p on the Xbox One. But then you go and play the game, and games like The Witcher, Strider, the original Call of Duty, they was missing textures on the PS4. So you push the resolution up and then literally just blurred out textures. Like there was banners that didn't have anything on it. In The Witcher 3, there was walls that were all connected. There was no bricks, no mortar lines, nothing. Like, and everybody was cool because it was 1080p. Like people are tripping about this resolution thing and don't understand that graphics and resolution aren't the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody I hear talk about resolution and don't talk about the graphics, you getting sunned.
Yeah.
Straight up and down. Because you don't know nothing.
Simply put, it's all about the multi-plats, as Z say all the time. That's why PlayStation is ahead now. I'm sorry. That's why 360 was ahead last gen. It's a new era now, and then these mainstream gamers, they don't have a flag anywhere. They just go where they think they get the most powerful system. And now that the X is coming out, they're gonna flock to that. I know so many cats that pledged 360. Then as soon as the PlayStation 4 came out and got all that good press, they jumped ship. They're like, fuck Xbox, and they went to PlayStation. And I truly believe the same thing is going to happen. It might take a minute, but the same thing is going to happen once the X drops.
Yo, this guy gets it right here.
Yeah, the X gonna change a lot of shit, man.
And again, something that I hate to say that I hate to be the Xbox that told you so, but I'm really starting to question, man. You know, maybe it's not the content of my character, but maybe the color of my skin. I listen. This is 2017 right now, and I understand that we live in Trump's America, but some of these things that, like, and again, all you guys have brought up very valid points throughout this conversation, right? But what's crazy is that they use what you call reverse racism on us. They look at us like we're crazy and we're so emotionally connected to these pieces of plastic. When we call out them for their things that they've done, and when we do it back to them, what about the games? I say this again, And this is not my opinion, because you even had Sony come out and say their thing was sparse, but for the first 3 years, Sony has had the better version of the multiplats. The Last of Us Remastered and Bloodborne. That was their claim to fame. You know what I mean? Because and with Microsoft, they had they were releasing more AAA games. I'm talking about the meat and but I'm not talking about the tinky wink. I'm talking about the meat and the potatoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sunset Overdrives and stuff like that.
Now, this was crazy. I heard this in a conversation the other day. They said, well, so that was just the first 3 years, but the Xbox went out 4 years, and now Sony is firing on all cylinders. It's all right that Sony didn't have it together at the beginning, right? Like, right. So this when they try to, like I said again, change the narrative. No, we ain't gonna do that here. We're gonna call a spade a spade. We're gonna tell the truth, right? Now, again, resolution. You know, it is. I always thought this was silly for console gamers to go back and forth. I was more for if you really cared about resolution and frames per second, you would be on the PC. But you know, again, Sony came out there. It wasn't the crap gamers or the next gens or the JTechs. We needed any other pro Sony channel out there. Sony themselves, you'll see, they came out there and said that 1080p makes you a better gamer. If I'm lying, I'm flying. You know, you would think that you would see this on someone's channel with about 35 subscribers, be out there just talking to the wind. But no, he took to Twitter and said that 1080p makes you a better gamer, right? So they already, you know, and again, and all props to them. Like, and it's cool. And Microsoft should have got their teeth kicked in. You don't never sacrifice the specs of your console to the CUDA peripheral. You don't do that. Yeah. Now, with that being said, now moving forward, now you taking, because for the last, I'd say 2 generations, Sony has been known to have the more powerful hardware, right? The PS3 and the PS4. But now Microsoft is taking they taking the ace out the deck right now. So what are they gonna, and all credit them out, I've always said this, and you know, now that Sony doesn't have the better version of multiplex, now they're gonna I said this about a year ago. Now they're gonna start probably releasing their AAA games, which is cool. If you're a gamer, all that is great, right? But again, in this landscape, and people again try to change. Even my man P Rock, man, he a piece of shit. And how you say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I don't care how big, and Phil got a lot of slack for this when he was talking about games. What do you call them? Services, games like more like services, right?
Yeah, service-based games. Yeah.
All right, you know what I mean. Because if you look at the MPD, you're gonna see the same more or less 10 or so 8, you know, multiplex, the 2Ks, the Maddens. You understand what I'm saying? The Overwatches, the Destinies, the Grand Theft Auto that's still there, the Minecraft. You're gonna see them. But again, if you're lucky, you're going to see, if your game is really popular, you're going to see your AAA exclusive maybe in the top 5 or whatever the case may be. But you'll be lucky to see it the second month. Third, you're running on all cylinders right there. But that's it. You know what I mean? But again, you're going to still see those same multiplats. Now, and I raised the question this. I want to get you guys' opinion on this, okay? That the greatest, people say Horizon Zero Dawn was, or whatever the case. Who's talking about that right now? Nobody, right?
Nobody.
Greatest, people say that Zelda was, or Zelda is. Who's talking about Zelda right now? You know what I mean?
Nobody.
Last Guardian.
Well, there you go. But listen, and it's not to excuse the fact that, you know, Microsoft ain't got nothing coming to holiday season, because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to placate that right there. You already know how I feel about Zoo Tycoon and Disney. You know how I feel about that. So I'm not even on it like that. But what I'm just saying is this, though. You know what I mean? When they come with this thing where Xbox has no games, and I'm playing games every goddamn day. What are you guys talking about? What do you feel about this? Am I looking too much into, or you think like they are trying to stack the deck, or how you say, move the goalposts?
They're definitely trying to move the goalposts, man. Definitely. When you look at PlayStation fans, they always try to move the goalposts. First, it was not enough power. They resolution gate, and they got better resolution. Now the Xbox One X about to come out. Now you're hearing about all these games that PlayStation got coming out. And I mean, when you look at the games, they don't have any legs. You can't play them. Yep. Can't play them more than like a month. Yep. And it's done. Horizon Zero Dawn, done. What is it? The Last of Us. When that came out, I mean, it had a little. What did it have a multiplayer?
Yeah, it got multiplayer. Yeah, it got multiplayer.
But it still wasn't. It wasn't like on the level of Gears or nothing like that. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, when you look at the Xbox exclusives, they got more playing time, and we play Gears all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Even Uncharted Lost Legacy is connected to Uncharted 4's multiplayer. Nobody ever talked about that. Not even just when it came out. Nobody was talking about it then. Nobody has been talking about it. And even to elaborate on a couple of Z's points. First, South Park already told you that it's because of the color of your skin. So let's get that
clear. Case closed.
Make that clear. That yes, we already established that.
Right,
and second, when you said Microsoft should have got their teeth kicked in because you don't sacrifice the specs of your console for a peripheral, in my head, like an epiphany, it was like one of those light bulb moments That's exactly what the hell Sony
Sony
did with the
did.
PS4 Pro.
Yes.
That is exactly what they did with the PS4 Pro. They
all the
sacrificed.
VR.
They put it out as fast as humanly possible because they was putting out the PSVR, and they
Yep.
needed it to be a more powerful system. And me, because again, I'm speaking directly from experience. I have both a PS4 and a PS4 Pro. I also own a PSVR. When I play my PSVR on the normal PS4, I get sick. Even a little when I play it on the Pro. But every single time I play it on the PS4, every single time I've ever connected that damn thing, I've gotten sick. And I don't get sick from the Oculus. I don't get sick from my Vive at all. But the PSVR, the PS4 Pro was designed specifically to make that thing work, kinda.
Now,
Just kinda, not even fully like it's supposed to, just kinda. And they put it out so quick just so that they can match up the dates.
Wait, so you talking about you get motion sickness because it's not
Because it's off. Like on the Vive and the Oculus, they do retro syncing, and it all based on the power of your machine.
Okay.
The PS4 base and even the little booster that they said they don't have in that little power pack. On the PS4 base, I get like a motion issue, like where the visuals don't sync, and then it like judders in my eyes, and that makes me sick. Like I can't put that thing on for more than 30 minutes before I'm nauseous.
Listen, if I'm not mistaken, you do have a prosthetic eye. You got that Sammy Davis Jr.
That's true.
Eye, right?
My glass eye.
Kino eye.
That Kano Mortal Kombat eye.
It be looking up crazy.
Inspector Gadget. I have an ass nigga.
You're right. I wear an eye patch every day. But I'm telling you, it's crazy how much Microsoft and Sony have basically swapped playbooks. Because at the beginning of this generation, everything PlayStation 4 was doing, the Xbox 360 did. Everything the PlayStation 3 was doing, Xbox One was doing. Yeah. They were higher than the competition. Like they had weaker multiplats. Like they were performing bad. Even the multiplats were performing bad because the system was too difficult to code for. Like it was literally they swapped. And then now the narrative is swaps again. Everything that PlayStation was doing in their PS3 days, they starting to do again. They don't care about the customers. They starting to put out their games. So everything else in their lineup, the Vita, even PSVR, people talking about they putting out games for PSVR. No, they're not. They're putting out games that's already been out on Oculus and Vive and Steam VR forever. They're just starting to put them on the PSVR because people are kind of getting them to work. They're porting over demos. Like there's no real full games on any VR system. Again, I'm speaking from experience because I own all three of them. So there's no real like whole games. There's experiences, but there's nothing like I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna play this for $1.50, like, and just be good with it. Like there's none of that. And the problem is that as Xbox is starting to do what they should have done from the beginning, everybody who was beating them up and getting all these clicks off of them for years is still trying to push that narrative. And you'll still see articles where they just talking about like the PS4 Pro, great if you ushering in 4K, but I wouldn't buy an Xbox One X unless you have a 4K TV. Like what kind of literally the same exact article, but opposite. But one actually does 4K. This craziness. And like I said, they were getting all those clicks off of the Xbox hate because all the PS4 people and all those supposed Xbox 360 fanboys that now went and started beating their chests for PS4 just because they want to feel included. They hopped on that bandwagon because they ain't got no balls. It just is what it is. So now they shifted, and so they hopped on all these NeoGAFs and all these IGNs, and they went with it. And now it's switching again, and they don't know what to do. They on suicide watch.
Yeah. I think that no, my bad, Juice. Go ahead.
No, you straight. I was just making a comment.
No, I was saying I don't, and I think this is something that's going to keep going back and forth Because it's like you said, it started with the PlayStation 3, with them coming out with the core processor. And that system, if you remember, was supposed to be built for 2 generations. So they basically was going to make you pay $600 for something that nobody wanted to support, and then say F you this generation because, you know, the games would look worse because they're sticking with the same system. You know what I'm saying? Then Microsoft, for some odd reason, tried to pick that up this Gen 2. And then, you know, it swung back to Sony. It's something that I heard Post Up saying a couple podcasts ago. They trying to battle for the living room. And they're going to keep trying this. As soon as they see some success, they're going to say, okay, let me slide this system out here. That's really not for the consumer, but maybe we can brainwash them to give us money for something that'll help us take over the living room. So unfortunately, I don't think this is something that's going to come to an end anytime soon. We're just going to keep having to smack their hands as gamers and saying, no, we don't want that shit. We just want you to focus on good games. So we'll see.
I don't know, man. The Xbox One X, I also look at kind of like Mayweather did Connor. They're looking at the Xbox One X to last for a little bit and to be able to carry over all your shit from like your OG Xbox One day one launch control to all even your original Xbox games.
Right.
They're going to go for that endurance speed. So in the long run, I see Xbox actually beating out PlayStation because Sony is lackluster on certain things, like they don't have backwards compat. They make you pay for that shit.
Yep. I actually see that a possibility that Sony might have more consoles sold, but Xbox will win the generation because all the multiplats is going to switch to the X. That's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Because if the mainstream gamers say, oh, I got a PlayStation, but I want to play my Madden on the X, them 60 million, it might get up to 50 million with Xbox. But if everybody switches and start playing their multiplats on the X, it don't matter how many consoles are sold. If all the software sales is on Xbox, that's what matters.
But the crazy part is the attach rate on Xbox is higher than the PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. Facts.
I need to bring something. I need to bring something to all y'all attention right now. All right. So as we all know, NBA 2K18 just came out with the Prelude download.
Oh,
right?
Talk about that too. You got to get you.
Yeah. So they came out with the Prelude download.
Yes.
The Xbox version doesn't have achievements, but the PlayStation version does have the trophies. Like, what kind of? If you don't feel this, and this is what I be talking about. This is how these gaming companies be slighting the Xbox guys. Like, we ain't the guys that, like, we don't buy games or something like that. Like, especially sports games. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is crazy. But like, what you think about that? What you think about that post? What post?
I'm right
Wake
here.
up,
I'm right
post,
here.
wake up,
I've just been listening, man. I didn't even know that about.
Yeah, I was playing some later.
Bro, I just found out literally right now. I had to bring that up, man.
That is crazy. The game
has
is
nothing
awesome,
to do with the
though.
marketing, maybe. I don't know why they would do that.
Right.
It doesn't have achievements.
It doesn't. Last year had achievements. Yep. Like the PlayStation version has the trophies, but the Xbox version doesn't have achievements, bro.
How have I not heard about that? That's fucked up.
Because it slid under the radar. Unless you're an achievement hunter and you play 2K, which doesn't happen often because, let's be real, anybody who out there like specifically hunting achievements, you playing a whole bunch of random garbage just to try to get your gamer score up. All them, the 99% of the NBA 2K dudes only play NBA 2K, Madden, and Call of Duty. They don't give a damn about achievements because they ain't getting them.
No, but I see what you. Well, hold on. I see what you.
They was slick.
Oh, shout out my man Lex Hazard in the chat. Yeah. I sent you the link. Killer King, what's up, baby? The people too. We got 2 people in and watching live. It's for the Patreon. Someone sent it to me on Twitter, and I was looking at it because I was playing the game for a while today. Got up a little early. Actually, I didn't go to bed yet, but up all night. And I started because I tried to play last night and I couldn't get on. And I got kind of far. So damn, I ain't getting no achievement yet. And that's something that's in. I paused the game and I got to doing something else. And I got another skunk that ran up under the house. I was dealing with that. So I was like, damn, I ain't getting no achievement yet. But then I seen something on Twitter. Now, I don't know if these achievements are going to unlock when you get the full retail version of the game. You know what I mean? But that is, I don't know if there's something per Sony or per marketing deal. I don't know what's that about. You know what I mean? That's wild.
My man, listen, if Sony got it, Microsoft should be having it.
Games though, it seems like Destiny, anything they got a marketing right to, it seems like they try to, piece out Xbox
they do what they can
onto the side. So I mean, Microsoft just needs to do a better job of picking up those multi-plats when they can, and they could do it.
All right, listen, let me say this, right? Now, now listen, we can't be mad at Sony. It's a boss move. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying we're mad at them because Microsoft had some of the same clauses in their contract back.
What do I mean by this? Because, and again, I know I'm getting painted as the Phil Spencer hater, but when you have the head of, say the Xbox division, is out there saying, he don't think that, like what they do with the time content deals, so he don't think that's good for gaming, and he's not interested in doing those type of deals. And when you have your biggest competitor, they're over there doing them, and they're taking stuff.
Flipped up.
Yeah, and they're taking things from your fan base. My thing, and again, to go back to my original statement, you're so worried about what's good for the better good of gaming and PC. Worry about the Xbox division. You know what I mean? That should be your.
But they keep forgetting too.
Maybe
something that's good for gaming is competition. That's what slipped their fucking mind.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt.
Yo, Garrett,
they should have put that money onto Call of Duty and kept that as a Microsoft thing going with the maps coming first to Xbox, because that's where they lost the casuals. I mean, you could say it was the power and some of that stuff, but hey, Call of Duty is a big ass franchise to the casuals. Everybody know about Call of Duty. So I think if they had kept that franchise alone as an Xbox thing as their marketing right going forward, they would have been good this generation. But
I mean, in Post or Gary, you guys can. Here's my thing, and I'm going to let you guys talk. This is your show. With that, Microsoft looked at it like, hey, everybody know that Call of Duty is on the Xbox or whatever the case may be. So that $50 million that we give Activision, we can keep that, right? But they took that same mindset, whatever the case may be, or got outbidded, or I don't know what the case was. They just stopped going after the third-party deals. And again, I still say it's a mistake. They should have. I don't know if they could. I don't know how long the deal with Sony was with Star Wars, but you have 3 games, 3 huge multiplats that are coming out this holiday season. You have Destiny 2, Call of Duty, and Star Wars Battlefront.
At least
you're known as the shooter box. You're known for being the shooter box, and you ain't got your own shooter this holiday season. You were supposed to have one of those things right there. You know what I mean? And let's go back to my last thing I'm saying here. Back to my original statement. I don't understand how Sony again is out hustling you when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind. But you guys can take it and go whatever.
This what I think it is, and I was thinking about this the other day. I think Microsoft, which to us looks crazy because we know that the multiplayer games are the big ones, especially during the holiday seasons. And to us, it's like, yo, why didn't you go after none of this? But what I think they're doing is Microsoft already has built-in games like that. So just like with Killer Instinct and Street Fighter V, they wasn't worried about buying into Street Fighter V because they had KI. So they was like, yeah, I'll take that. We don't have to pay for that. We're going to just push our own thing. And what I think Microsoft is doing is, instead of doing what Sony does, because Sony doesn't have no shooters. So they bought up all the marketing for all the shooters so that it can look like Sony is doing something in the multiplayer space. And Phil came out earlier and said Xbox is about, multiplayer games and services, and everybody jumped on him about single player games. So what he did was invest all that marketing money in the single player games. So Assassin's Creed, Metro Exodus, Wolfenstein, all single player games. Right. So now it looked like they got single player games, just like it looked like Sony got multiplayer games.
They messed up in the beginning of the generation. Now they trying to get footing. They plan didn't work with putting these exclusive games on PC.
Wait. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, hold the phone.
The plan ain't working, man. You need to go back to what you've been doing.
Because I was telling you this about 2 weeks ago. What was my rant?
No, I said I agree.
Nah. Women lie numbers.
Run the tape back. Run the tape back.
That's all I'm saying. That what you're saying now, that it was a little over the top in the Belgium, yes. But what you're saying right now is basically what I was saying back then. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you off, but you know what I mean. But there you go, bro. I don't mean to question your integrity, but I'm just saying.
I wasn't saying you was wrong about that. I was saying they just gonna get it back on track. But that's the direction they need to go. You know what I'm saying? They need to get away from that. I mean, if you're gonna put your games on PC, at least you know what I'm saying, have some multi-plat exclusive content coming with it and build that up too. I mean, just don't go and put all your shit on PC and not, you know what I'm saying, not work the deals. Pretty much.
I've said this before on another show, man. This is all foreshadowing, and I hope people continue to listen to me when I say that. I don't think people understood me when I said that Microsoft is trying to. It's not more so about competing with Sony or anything like that. They're trying to own the living room, and I don't think people understood me when I made that statement. And the games going to PC is just another form of bringing the Xbox division and the PC division closer together at some point, just being one division. You got to look. Years ago in 2005, they brought out IPTV, and they was going to have their own TV service. In 2005, with the whole IPTV, streaming TV over the internet, where you could change the channel without that delay in between, it just instant change channel thing. Well, they sold that technology to AT&T, and now you got Uverse, because I think Microsoft didn't want to compete. The TV companies would have fought back with them in regards to getting them to come on their platform in regards. But I think at some point, Microsoft is going to return to that TV thing, just like Sony. Sony is doing the same thing, and people don't see it. Look at the PlayStation 4. They have a thing where you can actually watch TV on it. I'm telling you, it's all about the all-in-one box. Having one box in your living room that does everything. And Sony and Microsoft, not Nintendo, because they don't seem to care, they're fighting for that. It's not so more about the games or anything like that. It's who's going to be the head honcho in the living room. Exactly. Who's going to be the system of choice when it comes to that all-in-one entertainment box. And Microsoft is moving.
That's actually what I use my PS4 the most right now for is their PlayStation's TV service, that PlayStation View shit, because it's literally a cable, satellite cable situation.
Exactly. And TV is becoming more digital. Now, people are dropping the cable boxes and becoming more digital more and more. So that's what I see. That's what Microsoft, at one point, PC games, they're gonna be on the Xbox One X or the future platforms that's coming out.
Let me ask you a question. As far as PC games, right? So when people say PC games, I don't. Are we talking about? Or I mean, to be honest with you, and I'm not taking. You know, when you look at it, what separates us from PC gamers. I'm not talking about the guys that have a rig to play multi-plat. I'm talking about true PC gamers, right? If you look at the big sellers on this, like the Dotas, the League of Legends, the
League of Legends,
you know what I mean. I don't really see those games. They tried them one count. I don't see really those games really taking over. No, but listen, PC already gets a bunch of our multi-plats. You know what I mean? And I don't think whatever Microsoft store does, it would never outdo Steam. Like people hate Microsoft. So as far as the PC game, like I don't know, like even like a question to move with the game. What's that? Age of Empire, and this is what I'm coming up with. Where I don't know what this regime, because they had a whole presentation at Gamescom for Age of Empire. They had a better showing for a PC exclusive game than they did for the Xbox One X. It was because people was still hating on the Xbox One X until Digital Foundry came out and did their own behind the scene thing. Like they did a better job showing the Xbox than Microsoft did itself. That's why I'm like what's this direction? Like I don't know what's up and down.
That's why they bring you the keyboard and mouse. So developers can have a choice. So if you want a Dota 2 on the Xbox One S, or you want a League of Legends on the Xbox One S, developers can bring it to the platform knowing that it supports keyboard and mouse. So the same option that you have on the PC in regards to controller or keyboard and mouse, you now have on the Xbox One X, a 6 teraflops console that can run a lot of the PC games.
A game that can run on a Game Boy Advance. Those games ain't graphically demanding.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So at this point, when Microsoft say, "Hey, we're gonna leave keyboard and mouse up to the developers," you think they're not going to entice those developers that create the Leagues of Legends, the Dota 2s, to come over to Xbox One X, knowing that it's a platform that supports keyboard and mouse, not only to just type stuff like it did in the past, but actually play games. You know what I'm saying? What the Steam box was supposed to do.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
Microsoft got a better foothold in the living room to do what the Steam box was supposed to do.
And I think that's why they brought Valve in. A lot of people think it was just them talking about the whole HoloLens thing.
And he's sitting down with the crossplay with Steam.
Yeah.
That's gonna go way beyond that.
Yep.
I guarantee Microsoft know what they're doing.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have any will, ambition. I'm trying to be clean here because I listen
game with a mouse.
Listen, those
I ain't with that mouse and keyboard like this, though. That's an option.
Can I throw something in there real quick? Yeah. I feel you, Z, on that. I'm primarily a console gamer. At the end of last gen, I will say, and Garrett might have some appreciation for this, I will say when Xbox completely dropped the ball and they was focusing on this what was that, Connect shit, I was like, man, they're not dropping nothing no more. I'm going to hop on PC. I'm not going to lie. Some of that PC shit is on fire, man. Yep. And if they bring, not all of it, not even most, but some of it is on fire. If they can bring, and the problem is a lot of it, they can't map to the controller. Right. You need a keyboard and mouse. So if they bring that over and then there's keyboard, mouse, and support, some of them cats that want to play PUBG and be like, I ain't got enough money to build up a rig. And I get where Garrett's coming from. They're not going to have that 60 frames per second, but they might want the visuals. They say, you know what? I might be better off on the X. Then they're going to get more content. They're going to have like the Van Helsings and the other weirdo shit that they like on PC on the Xbox One X. And that's where that support comes in. But I'm with you. I do not support multiplayer games like a Gears where they just mix the lobbies without a choice with keyboard and mouse and controller. Exactly. You're gonna get ate up all day.
They're not gonna.
It's like I was telling everybody. I was telling everybody earlier this week. It's a lot of games where they just don't fit on. They don't fit on the console because of the controller. Now we got a mouse and keyboard. Like truth be told, like I told you earlier this week, PUBG. When you pause the game or you go into the menu where you got to add all the attachments to your guns. I'm interested to see how they're gonna do that on console because it is hard as like the mouse and keyboard is quick. You hurry up, drag it over to the gun, drag this over to the gun, drag that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be harder on console, man. I'm telling you.
You're gonna get smacked with a frying pan real quick.
Exactly.
I like this dude, man. He fit it.
Yeah. But we have to also think about other, bigger games on PC like Arma. Arma is a pretty famous game. A lot of mods come from it. And, games like that, they probably want to try to bring to the Xbox platform. And you do need keyboard and mouse support for those games.
Yeah, because Microsoft is a company you have to see the changes that they made from back in the 2000s to where they are now. They are a more expanded and open platform now, more so than they was in the past where they was cut off. They weren't trying to work a network with nobody if it wasn't their own in-house proprietary software or hardware. The changes that
I like that Microsoft.
Microsoft is always
now. They are more open. I couldn't imagine Microsoft in the past allowing Nintendo the crossplay between the Nintendo, giving them access to Xbox Live. That wouldn't have happened in 2004, 5, and 6 like that. They weren't trying to have nobody get access to Xbox Live like that. Yeah. But this Microsoft now is more open, and they're gonna have to be like that, especially with the direction they're going into, trying to merge the Xbox platform and the PC platform into one, especially when it comes to modding and things like that. They're going to have to be more open to do that.
Yeah, the difference, though, is like back then, Xbox was the only ones really doing online like that. Like all the other consoles been late to this party, but now that everybody got it, Xbox is trying to do the thing where they pioneer stuff so that they can say we started this the first on Xbox. They trying to do that because now everything they've started has migrated, and even if it's not as good, it's still there on the other places. So Xbox is trying to push the narrative to make sure that everything that happens on the console space, Microsoft has their hands in one way or another. Even the VR AR thing, Microsoft isn't directly touching anything, but they have 6 different headsets you can buy that work with Windows and will subsequently work with Xbox One because of the whole integration. So like it's things they're trying to make moves that are future proof. Like Microsoft as a business is better than Sony and Nintendo at this business stuff, which is both their crutch and what's shooting them in the leg at the same time.
And don't get me wrong, the PC will always be king. I'm not negating the PC, but in the future, the Xbox will be a low entry cost, allowing you to get
it's not even in the future in November.
Right, a PC and a console experience at a low cost.
Well, they need to do a better job
when that merge completely, when it fully do. That's what it's going to be. You can go out and buy a high-end PC, but you're going to have this advanced console that's sitting in your living room.
What the hell happened to DayZ? I thought DayZ was supposed to be coming to Xbox like 2 years.
It is. I don't know.
Wasn't DayZ transformed into H1Z1 or is that
no? H1Z1
that's different. Okay.
That's also going to come to Xbox at some point in time.
Yeah, that's right. Because before PUBG split
was even announced.
Yeah. Yep.
It didn't take forever.
I gotta humbly disagree with you though about the Xbox One X or whatever being the entry console. The reason why I say that, right? Now you say again, I got this saying. We say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Okay.
We got those high-end graphics cards, right? You can't tell me one card of those cards may have sold 5 or 10 million, right? It's going by the surveys from Steam. And it's crazy. What piqued me this, what opened my eyes to this, is when the Wii U came out in 2012. We all know the Wii U was very underpowered, right? The Wii U was on, according to Steam surveys, outperformed a lot of people's gaming rigs. The base Xbox One and PS4 outperforms about 95% of the Steam user base, like literally. You know,
bro, you gonna leave K Mega's 1050 Ti alone, bro?
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Now again, y'all gonna leave them 1050 Ti's alone. I got one.
I know, man. Make us know. I got the Super Hyper XP 989. Like that's just I'm serious. Then they can say G6 1050. I said,
I know Gary like, man, I got one, but I ain't finna put that shit out there like that.
Real. You know what I mean? I won't know who shot him, we rocking him about an hour and a half or so. Before we go, is anything that you guys would like to say? Get off your chest. Any grievances?
Yeah, I want to ask you, Z and Maston, a quick question. You know, the X is getting closer. Yes. We're almost there.
Yes.
But you gotta be real with me.
Yes.
Was the PS4 Pro a mistake for you guys?
Imagine you want to go first, or you? I can go first.
Go ahead. You go first.
It's always a mistake.
I will say this, and again, just going back, and again, even though I'm more pro Xbox, I want to say this. I'm a gamer at the end of the day. And, you think the thrill of going out buying a new console, you know how it is. Since you was little, same thing. You know what I mean? I was very, very excited for the Pro. You know, even when I told people it was coming, no one would believe me, right? Because again, just going by what's called real world performance and what you call specs on paper. Just going by the specs on paper, we're looking at something that's at least twice as powerful as what I already had. So I'm thinking, woo-wee, twice the graphics, you know what I mean? I'm excited. And what I got was, and again, something I've always said, this got a higher resolution. And Sony said that I can get HDR on the Slim. So knowing what I know now, I'm probably still would have got the Pro because I'm just that ignorant. I gotta have the big and the best. But it wasn't worth it, and I could have just kept what I had, to be honest with you, because the games, I'm not, I'm just honestly don't really look any better graphically, and that's the reason why the Pro is selling this. It's not as good. It didn't really catch on. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't a big as far as visuals. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah. My inner tech whore says no, because I just buy technology. That's what I do. and I'm a video game guy, so video game technology is automatic. Like I got a Switch, I probably ain't turned on in a month and a half. So like the inner tech guy says no. The inner video game dude, I could have just kept my base PS4. I still got it, and I use it more than I use the Pro. Like just straight up facts. I use my base PS4 more than I use the Pro, and like Z was saying, the upgrades are minimal. Even Horizon Zero Dawn, perfect example. Horizon Zero Dawn has an enhanced mode. It makes the game look horrible to me. Yes, it has artifacting, there's ghosting, there's screen tearing, like
negative TV
frame drop.
Right, I don't want
negative TV.
My KS is booming over here. So, right, it's stay lit. So, like I said, it's crazy. I play that shit on a lower setting on my Pro because it looks better to me. And this is coming from somebody who has 2 high-end rigs in my house, chilling.
Yep.
Like I play on those all the time. This shit looks worse to me when I turned it up because all they did was turn up a lot of aliasing so it looks softer, and then they turned up the contrast and turned up the resolution. You didn't actually change the assets. Sometimes they look crisper, sometimes they look like straight trash, and the frame rate drops. Like the sacrifices they made for the PS4. Yeah, the frame rates have, like, there's been plenty of games where the frame rates on the PS4 Pro in the higher resolution modes have much higher drops and are much less consistent than the base PS4. Because even since the beginning of this gen, and I knew that was going to happen because even the beginning of this gen, the base PS4 did the same thing. They cranked up the resolution, and Microsoft always had stable frame rates because they didn't worry about resolution, quote unquote. It was also weaker, but they didn't have the headroom to worry about resolution. So they made sure they got locked in the frame rate. So the frame rates were always more stable, but the PS4 had a higher resolution. And it's the same thing. When they crank up the resolution on the PS4 Pro, to me, it always looks like the frame. Like if I could frame graph it would always look like it was finicky to me, like, which makes it look worse to me. So I always play if I have the option in the lower resolution mode. Even the boost mode, I don't use that garbage on anything because it makes 99% of those games run horribly. And so the game guy in me says I should just stuck with what I had. The tech guy in me says, fuck it.
Okay. Wait. Before we get up out of here, Mod, 2K, give me your link to your channel, and I'm gonna put it in the chat here.
Okay.
And get everybody a link. If you're not subscribed to you guys, please do so. And Xbox Juice too. Post your link to your channel in the chat. Actually, post it. You can post your own. Master post your own. Post it in the chat. But anything else we want to add to this? No, yes. Brian, what we playing tonight, bro?
PlayStation dudes, get off Suicide Watch. It's okay that you have the weaker console. We're here for you.
They got a 1-800 number for that. Yeah, just calm down.
We're gonna start a group for y'all. We're gonna give y'all week-long tips and everything. Y'all can sit down, talk it out over some Nino Kuni or whatever you about to play.
Hey,
hey, man, no one wants to be in second place. That's why the narrative keeps getting changed. They don't want to accept it, but it's about to happen.
I do want to add this.
Move that goalpost ain't gonna help too much longer.
Yeah,
it's almost.
Because the mainstreamers are just gonna switch.
I do want to add that next week, the congregation of the chosen one, Xbox Ministry, we will congregate next week. I ask all the fellowships, the followers, to come and gather with Apostle Z. All right, Prophet King Gaming Blood, Prophet Post Up. I want you to come and listen to the sermon that we have. We got a very powerful message for the masses. We just want to embrace y'all. We love y'all. We pray for y'all all. All right, Apostle Z knows y'all. Okay?
Xbox! Gilligan! Off the island! Listen here, man. Before we get about it today, I just want to say, I want to give all praises to the Lord Jesus, my Savior Christ. If a nigga can survive with some leather low top sandals, get swallowed by the whale, and went on through this with your all things is possible through Christ. All praise Xbox. And we catch you guys during the week. BGST, Xbox.
Everybody stay safe in that hurricane. Don't forget about the hurricane.
No doubt.
Man, the hurricane, yeah. I heard it's going to the Georgia and South Carolina area with that, man. Listen.
Yeah, that one's bad.
Listen, that's Planet X. I'm telling you. Planet X is going to be here. The Anunnaki, they coming. Planet Narubo's coming, man.
Yes, sir.
But we out of here, man. Thank you for rocking out with the show as always. And not posted here, nigga. Posted in the chat. Post up in the chat. Hold on, I'll get it. Man.
I gotta go. Hold on, let me go to the crazy
bastard.
Close molasses.
There you go. Always keep it broadband.
Go ahead.
All right.
I got you, Coach.
All right.
Don't tell nobody. We will not talk about this.
Facts. But anyway, like I said, thank you guys for rocking out. Again, that's just the exclusive show for Patreon. Published on the
live next week.
Be live back there. We got another one. Listen, we get him out more timely. You know what I mean? My man Garrett, man, he banged his toe in church, so pray for him. We out
shit.
Yo, are we still live?
We off there now.
Toe got his own outfit.
You can put
Coming soon to all
you
stores.
disrespectful cat.
Yo,
we still live.
Yeah, but it's live, bro.
We still live, bro. We still live.
Still live, huh?
Man, fuck that harmonica, Nethus. We out here. Dang.